Hey everyone, welcome. I am MisterBo, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Well of Radiance, the brand new solar super for the Dawnblade in Forsaken for the Warlock. So the first thing to begin with is, how do you unlock these brand new supers? Well, when you first start the Forsaken campaign, you will notice that enemies are dropping these items called Visions of Light. Collect enough of those and you'll be given a quest to go and explore Io. Kind of like the old quests in original Destiny 2 where you gained your super, you'll go throughout this mission with people talking to you, learn a lot about the lore, and then at the end of that mission, you will get to pick which of the 3 brand new supers for your class that you want to unlock. Now, we don't know the time frame on how you'll unlock the other ones yet. A lot of speculation say it's going to be on a weekly basis, so next week you'll be able to unlock this second super, and then on the third week you'll be able to unlock your third super. Now, when you first get your super, you won't have any of the abilities. In order to unlock these abilities, you're going to need to get kills with your abilities. So kills with your grenade, kills with your melee, and then just overall kills with your super. Using your blade, smashing into the ground, killing some enemies like that will count. And then just using your melee ability and your grenades, whilst using your Well of Radiance and whilst out of it, will all help towards getting this leveled up, allowing you to unlock all 4 abilities. So I decided to go with Solar because there hasn't really been a support class of this nature in Destiny before and I wanted to try it out. So let's take a look at the skill tree. Firstly, we have Well of Radiance. Thrust your Daybreak sword into the ground. The sword continuously projects a powerful aura that heals and empowers nearby allies. Now you get this big area on the floor, probably double the size of a normal rift, and that will last for about 30 seconds, again healing you, giving you a load of overshield, making it really hard for enemies to take you out, and then also giving you that damage buff as well, and it is a pretty noticeable damage increase. I'm not sure the exact numbers, maybe it's around a quarter of what you normally do added onto your normal damage, but it is definitely significant and you notice it straight away. From there you then have the melee, which is Guiding Flame. Strike an enemy with this melee ability to inflict burn damage and empower yourself and nearby allies. So what's really cool about this is you just have to strike an enemy. You don't have to kill an enemy with your melee ability like a lot of other melee abilities. This will then burn the enemy and give you empower, meaning you're getting a little bit of extra damage boost on top of your normal damage anyway. The next one we then have is the grenade, which is Divine Protection. Hold LB to convert your grenade into a blessing that heals allied targets and drops overshields you and your allies can pick up. Activate Divine Protection while gliding to hover in mid-air. So this is basically just like a med kit. If you're low in health, charge up your grenade, throw it on the floor, you'll get heals, you'll get an overshield. If you see a teammate, maybe they're down a corridor and they're pretty low, charge your grenade, throw it over to them, they'll get the heal and they'll get an overshield. A really nice addition to the grenade there. And I'm sure it's going to be coming in super useful. Maybe you've got someone who's downed, you need to go and revive them, so you chuck this on the floor, giving you just a little bit more health to then revive your teammate, and then that will go into what is next, and that is Benevolent Dawn. And this is kind of what brings this super and all these abilities together. Healing or empowering allies regenerates your grenade, melee, and rift energy. So your melee activates empowering, your grenade activates healing. Obviously, depending on what your rift is, you're going to be either healing or empowering your teammates. You do both when you activate your super, and even reviving seems to be counting as healing as well, meaning your abilities are going to be probably charging non-stop if you can pair these things together pretty nicely. And if you've got some perks on your armor that maybe increases your grenade recharge, you're going to be having your grenade, your melee, and maybe even your rift pretty much constantly if you're able to use these effectively. It is definitely a support super, and I think this is going to come in very handy in certain situations, and especially the raid. So let's take a look at some of these things in action. Firstly, let's just take a look at the super as it is. As you can see here, I smash the sword down on the ground, you get this nice big aura, you have this sort of ball floating above it and you can see when you're connected to it, plus your screen glows this sort of yellow solar glow. You can see on the bottom left hand side how long is left for the Well of Radiance, and you're going to be getting healed. As you can see on top of the screen, you can see the overshield that I'm getting, and you can see as enemies try and take away my health, it is basically just regenerating it constantly. Now there are some enemies that will basically ignore that you're in this and kill you pretty quickly. Some really over leveled enemies will do that, and I found in Gambit when someone invades you and you pop into your Well of Radiance to maybe stop them from killing you as easily, a hunter in their brand new super was able to take me out in 2 hits. So it is going to be pretty situational in terms of where you're going to use it. You probably aren't going to be wanting to use it if someone's invading you. You might want to use this instead when you're taking out the Primeval in Gambit, but that's just an example. For instance, if you're in a raid encounter and there's a massive boss, you put this down, the boss probably isn't going to be destroying you that quickly because it's not going to be focus firing on you. There's going to be another 5 people probably in this, so you're probably not going to die as quickly. As you can see here, I then strike an enemy and on the bottom left hand side it says I'm empowered. Now if I do this with a teammate nearby, you will see it then also says Benevolent Dawn, and you can see my abilities start to recharge pretty quickly. The same goes with my Divine Protection. If I throw it down on the ground here, you can see it gives me an overshield and heals me. But then when I do that with a teammate, you can see I also get Benevolent Dawn, which then again starts to recharge my abilities pretty quickly. Let's then take a look at Divine Protection while gliding, because I get to hover in mid-air. So as you can see here, activate it, I'm hovering in air. Might come in useful in certain situations. I've never really liked the ability to hover in the air because it kind of makes you a bit more of a target, especially in PvP, but in PvE it might be alright. Now it's definitely going to be interesting to see maybe how people use this in PvP in the Crucible, because I reckon you can probably get some pretty good outcomes with this. The fact that you can heal yourself if you've got a grenade, so you're probably just going to always hold on to your grenade. Maybe you're in a bit of a fight, you take out maybe 1 or 2 people, you're pretty low on health, duck round a corner, heal yourself with an overshield, come back and continue fighting. And then of course with that empowerment of the melee, that might just give you a little bit more of an extra damage boost to finish off your opponent. So that is the Well of Radiance super for the Warlock. Now what is pretty interesting is that there's also a brand new exotic armor piece that pairs with this super really nicely. Now I don't have it yet, and when I do I'll be sure to do a proper review and overview of it, but if we go to the collections we can actually take a look at what this looks like and the perk on it. So this exotic chest piece is called Phoenix Protocol, and it looks like a pretty cool exotic. I'm definitely going to be using it when I unlock it. But the exotic perk here is what is interesting. It's called Battle Hearth. Kills and assists you make while standing in your Well of Radiance return super energy. Now it's probably not going to be that hard to get kills and definitely assists while you're in your Well of Radiance. I'm wondering how much this is actually going to return back to your super, because it could be a fair amount, meaning you might be able to get your super back pretty damn quickly. But again, we'll have to wait and see until we unlock this and try it out for ourselves. So there you have it, that is the brand new solar super for the Warlock, the Well of Radiance. Definitely the ultimate support super and subclass in Destiny 2. I think this is going to be a must-have in a lot of situations. You're probably going to be starting to see people on LFG saying, you know, must have a Warlock with the Well of Radiance, depending on some of the encounters in the raid. But let me know what you guys think of this. What do you think of this subclass compared to the other ones, if you've seen them, the Void one and the Arc one for the Warlock? And what class are you currently playing in Forsaken, and which super have you chosen if you've already chosen one, and if you haven't, which one are you going to choose when you get the chance to? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on that. If you guys enjoyed this video, or if you found it helpful in any way, feel free to give the like button a big old hug, subscribe for more gaming content and coverage. You can also boop that bell icon to be notified when my future videos go live. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.